Okay, so this one comes from number 8 from 7.1 on Applia. It's under the extra practice, it's number 8. And what we have here is, I don't know, I don't just write my conclusion out over there. I think Hurley might have it under here, but whatever, this is our conclusion. So what we're trying to do is, we're trying to get this by itself. Trying to get it to say not A, or A is false, or however you want to say it. We know that if C, then if A, then C. And we know that not C. Not C, we got that. And so what we're supposed to do is use these two statements to figure that out. Your process for any of these proofs is kind of the same. Start with the conclusion. In this case it says not A. And we want to find where those letters are represented in the premises. And in this case it's right here. So if we can get that by itself, our work here is done. Now you'll notice, this is A. This is not A. So we're going to need some step that allows us to deny what's here, right? This is A, we need to say not A. Because it's in an if-then statement, if we could get this by itself, and we knew that this was false, which we do, then we could use modus tollens. I hope you have this handy, right? You're going to need this to follow along. You see, I don't know if it's focused on that. This I put up as an attachment in an announcement on Wednesday the 4th, I think it was. So here's how our proof's going to go. This one says, if not C, or if C is false, then if A, then C. And here, sure enough, we have not C. And so we can put these two together, that's lines 1 and 2, using modus ponens. Modus ponens says, if you know the antecedent is true, which we do, then you can conclude the consequent. So the line we get here then is just if A, then C. That is, we knew that, remember if P then Q, P therefore Q? Well, in this case, P is not C, and Q is if A, then C. We knew the antecedent was true, so we can conclude the consequent. That's modus ponens for you. Now we're not done, because we have if A, then C, and we need to say not A. But we have a new line, and this is true. Anytime you derive a line, it's fair game. You're allowed to use it in your proof. So now we can say, here's our A. We needed to say not A. So we look at the rules, right? We study the rules carefully to see if there's one that'll allow us to deny the antecedent. And if you know that the consequent is false, you can conclude the antecedent is false. And we were given in number 2 that the consequent here is false. I know it's confusing to put into words, but if it's raining and the ground is wet, but we already know the ground isn't wet, so we know it's not raining. Not A, and we got that by combining lines 2 and 3 with modus tollens. You can do this with the paper in front of you. If you don't, if you don't feel like you can remember all the terms, that's okay. For my purposes, I always think of tollens as takeaway. Like you always wind up taking something away.